All right, let me quickly go, just a moment. Let me quickly go to Honorable, Senator Melai. Please, Senator Melai, tell us, because of what we have on our hands, it looks so much like those chambers are very attractive. Your party says that it's what's going to change a lot of things about Nigeria. Is the juicy nature of those chambers going to be changed too?
Basically, I want to say that I want to correct an erroneous impression about our sitting. The sitting have not changed from 1999 to date, even when my big uncle there was in the National Assembly. The plenary section of the National Assembly is not the most important. The most important work actually is in oversight functions, which is also always through the committees to the MDAs. That is where the critical responsibility of legislators are. So, and that takes you completely outside plenary. So the number of times you appear in plenary should not be the yardstick parameter or indices for judging what the legislators are doing. For as I speak to you, there are 4 ad hoc committees working as I'm speaking to you now. They are working and they are sitting. They've not gone on holiday. I'm a member of one, and we had meeting yesterday, and we are meeting again tomorrow. So that is to answer that. Then coming back straight to your question, I want to believe that this particular government, under the performing leadership of the man I have regarded as the nemesis of corruption in this country, President Muhammadu Buhari, APC will do better, and we will ameliorate and palliate our problems as a nation. And from what we are seeing already, we are very comfortable with the way the president is piloting the affairs of this country. And these corrective measures will not only be taken care of in the legislature alone, it's going to be an holistic correction, because the satanic manifestations of the past is too grievous for us to instantaneously begin to rush into activities. So all I want to say in clear terms is that these governments will not only focus on the National Assembly, but we will focus on the 3 tiers of government and all the MDAs. It is going to be an holistic approach, because corruption, as far as I'm concerned, is the bane of our development as a nation. It's not even whether parliamentary or presidential system of government. We must first kill corruption at all levels. The National Assembly must carry out oversight function without any collaboration with the executive. You must carry out your oversight functions over the MDAs with every sincerity of purpose of commitment. For example, you give a contract out to a particular ministry, and the National Assembly that is supposed to periodically carry out oversight functions over that particular institution or MDA is not doing what they are supposed to do, or that establishment will be they want to facilitate the movement of legislators. These are the handicaps of the past that have brought corruption neck deep into this country. And I know that this particular government of the APC is sincere, is genuine, and I know that we will overcome.
All right. One of the things that will come to mind naturally for many Nigerians is, some of the tasks taken on by the 7th Assembly. For example, some of the committees have investigated some corrupt practices in government. Take, for example, the fuel subsidy probe that was taken on by the SEC probe was also done. A lot of probes were being done by the National Assembly. But today, we seem not to have gotten a headway in the implementation of the probe reports. Are you going to take on those reports and going to implement them, or what exactly is this 8th National Assembly going to do to make sure that the corruption, like you said, is going to be fought head on?
Yeah, I'm sure. Thank you very much. I want to start by educating you that the National Assembly do not have powers to implement anything. It is the executive that have the prerogative to implement programs, policies, and directions of government. So what we do in the National Assembly is to carry out oversight functions, is to investigate, and then pass our recommendations and resolutions, in most cases, to the executive. So if these committees have done their work, if the Senate or the House of Representatives have conducted an investigation and they've passed the resolutions and recommendations and suggestions to the executive, only the executive can implement those recommendations or findings of the National Assembly, as it were. For example, if you investigate, like in the case of Farouk Lawal now, there was an investigation conducted. So, and the ball was passed to the executive, and the executive will call on the EFCC or whatever agency to carry out the implementation of all our findings. But if the executive refused to do it, like it was in the case of the past government, none of the investigations received the attention of the Jonathan administration. But I want to tell you that there's a difference now, because a holy man, a man who has a fear of God, a man who is passionate about Nigeria, a man who is change personified, is in government now. And I assure you, you will see the difference. You will see that change has come to stay.
All right. At that point, change has come to stay. Well, we're hoping, high hopes from Nigeria. Well, if your party performs well, my guests have some comments to what you've said, but we'll go on a break. And when we return, comments on what Senator Melaye said from my other guests here. Stay with us.
From the very first time I met my girl, I knew I had to stay connected to her and keep her close. I needed a plan, so I got one. Nah, not that kind of plan you're thinking of. I got to find one plan. Airtel Unlimited, a data package that gives me a fast and reliable browsing experience. That's not all. It also allows me to make calls and send SMS. And it gets even better with the game changer that allows me to stay connected to WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, BBM, and Tugo, even when my data runs out. Now that's the unlimited advantage. So I'm always connected to my family, friends, business partners, my fans, and of course, my girl. Now I've got unlimited affection.
Enjoy endless connection with Airtel Unlimited, the data package that keeps you connected to social media even when your data runs out. Dial *489# to subscribe for the small, medium, large, or extra large package. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Thank you for staying with us. The cost of governance in Nigeria has been the topic of our conversations here on Channels Television. But of course, I'm seeing some of your messages here. I will take some of them. Very interesting comments and messages. A lot of Nigerians are passionate about the progress of this country, and we all. But tell me, what exactly are your thoughts towards Senator Melaye? I know you guys wanted to say something there.
But let me just take this moment to say that, look, there's no way you can fight corruption and win with weak institutions that we currently have. The starting point of fighting corruption is to strengthen these institutions. Make them, the accounting system is part of the thing, you know? Because what you have to understand is this: corruption in any country is in inverse proportion to the state of the economy. So because of the accounting system need to be looked at to guard against corruption. The legal system also need to be looked at, so that the courts will have the kind of strength, the kind of powers that they need to really so that their decisions are not impaired. Okay, so we also need to look at the civil service. Okay, because the corruption was made popular by the civil service during the Murtala Mohammed administration, when he sacked the other civil servants. And then those who were lucky to remain said, okay, let us plan our retirement. And then they began to ask for, looking at ways to. And then look at the pays that these civil servants compared to their mates in the private sector, so that there will be not too much gap between them. So there is a holistic thing. It's not just, looking at all this. First of all, look at what are the loopholes, what are the things, where are the loopholes? Plug these loopholes. Then, not by really going back and back, because if you keep going back to who stole what, you won't move forward.
Okay. All right. Senator Okoromo, you've got some things to say.
Yes. Number one is talking of the president who is a saint. And I just want to ask one question about our saintly president. He has declared his assets his assets, which he has given to the Code of Conduct Bureau, but he has refused to make those assets public. People have said he should make them public, but he has been reluctant to make them public. I wonder whether somebody can tell us why. Why is it that both the president and the vice president, in spite of the fact that they promised to make all their assets public when they were campaigning,
and it's a holy
why have they refused to make it public now?
Okay.
That is my first question.